What is good, people? In today's episode, I'm going to convert this bike into an electric mountain bike. It's a giant Talon 3 2021 model. It's got 27.5-inch rims. We got the MACHINEZ Icon tyres, hydraulic brakes, the gearing's 3x7. So I think it's the perfect bike to convert. With this complete conversion kit, it's a 2000 watt. You got the MTX-39 Rim, which you can fit a wider tyre on. It's also got a 40 amp controller and everything else needed to get this bike converted. Hopefully. Now the format for today's upload is going to be completely different than usual because I'm just going to jump straight to the finished product. I'm not going to record any of the building, mainly because I want to save time. We'll have a walk around and I'll talk about any issues or problems I had. Then that will be followed up with the test ride. That's my favourite part. Who doesn't like a test ride? For me, it's going to be very interesting to compare this 2000 watt 27.5 inch hub motor compared to my 29 inch 1500 watt hub. Here we are then, finally finished it. Finally, it took me just over 2 hours really. Like every kit, they're all completely different really as far as I've just learnt, because for example, the brake cables needed to go to the controller, so I had to route them all the way down to the back of the bike, and that is why I've got that controller bag up there, but that's just full of all the wires and cables, etc., because I had to tidy them up. There was a lot of loose wires and I didn't want to use that controller bag over the controller, so I've managed to fix that to the back of the frame. That's secure, it's open, it's not going to overheat, and I made use of the controller bag that they gave me. Yes, one improvement is if I got a bag half the size, you know, that would look a lot better, but I didn't have that to my hand right then and there, so that is what I did. Anyway, I want to keep this short and sweet because it's baking hot and I want to go and have a tea break ready for the test ride. Did I have any problems or issues? No, it went smooth as butter really, because even the pedal assist was a lot easier than on the last kit I had, because I didn't have to take off the pedals. I just literally could clip it around that, whatever you call it, the crank. The most time consuming task was keeping the cables tidy and trying to, well, make it not look like a bird's nest. I've been through the controller settings, made sure that everything's what it should be or what I think it should be at. And there was one really interesting thing on this I noticed. Anyway, if you want to hear any more about it, then stick around because next will be the test ride. And here we are. Let's knock it up a gear then. Straight into fifth. I've actually just been messing about on it. It says actually for nearly 2 miles. I had a bit of an issue with getting the full speed out of it. I had to change something in the settings, but yeah, we got there in the end. Full speed then, it's showing me 36. Maybe 37. There's no wind really, so I don't know what that's all about. My other one kept picking up, but that's a 29-inch wheels. I think that will be a massive difference for top speed. This definitely feels torquey though, a lot torquier. Oh. To knock it down a cop, straight into first. That's too pokey. Oh, I can see shade. Get in there. Make the most of this. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit more about this DIY conversion kit. It's a 2000 watt apparently, so it's a little bit bigger than the other one. We've got a 52 volt battery, 17.5 amp hour, Panasonic, same as my other one, so it's roughly 58.2 volts really. We got the S830 LCD rather than the SW900 like on the other, and this one is 27.5 inch rims, the other one's 29, so we got some good differences between them both. Oh yeah, the twist throttle rather than a thumb. I can't think of any other differences right now, but yeah, you get the drift anyway. What I did find on this, because I had a few problems at first, so I was going through everything and kind of held my thumb on here like so. See that flash up? That's cruise control for you. Now the SW900 I don't think has that, or at least I haven't found it. Is it any good? Well, it could be. You know, you can just cruise like this. Thank you. But that's a bit slow for me tonight. The only way to deactivate that is to press the brake. The main objective with this test ride then is just giving the bike a once over, check you feel confident in the machine, it's all mechanically sound. Then you do a top speed test and just have a little rip really and see what goes on. Try and pick up on some differences between this and my other, because, well, hopefully I can get Bullhead out on the other and we'll have a little session on them. But you know what Bullhead's like, got a great big book of excuses. I think I've done enough talking and let's ride. That pickup, that's just way better. Another thing I must mention is I've never verified the speedo on the other. You never know, this one could be more accurate or vice versa. It's quite a good hill actually, and we're keeping some good speed. I'm backing off a bit just to try and save the battery. One more thing before I forget, the pedal assist. On my other bike it worked in both directions. This one straight away worked exactly how it's meant to. It definitely hasn't got the top speed my other one does. However, it's got the torque. It's got more torque. I'm pretty certain about that, but until I test, I can't confirm. Test ride so far so good. I've got to say, this hub is a little bit more noisier than the other. That's another observation I make. I can kind of hear like it sounds a bit like there's something loose. Hopefully it'll be alright. I'll pull over in a minute and have a good look. Lovely. One more quick test. This isn't not the best place to do this because it's slightly inclined, but I'm going to do it anyway. So in pedal assist 1, just over 5 miles per hour. Pedal assist 2, a good 12. Pedal assist 3, 20. Oh. Snobs. Pedal assist 4. Doing about, considering we're going uphill, we're going to call that 28 miles per hour, and I haven't got time for 5, but that's going over 30. Do you know what, I've got a problem with the saddle. It feels like it keeps moving. Oh my. Right, perfect opportunity to give it a quick safety check then, I'd say. Let's gas it up. Yeah, look. And I do not have the Allen key that fits, I know that. Tyres alright. I marked the nut so I can just visually check quickly. That looks fine. The other one looks fine. Torque arms feels tight. Wow. Oh, something felt loose then. Oh, maybe the front wheel was a little bit loose. See, that's why you have to pull over and give these things, when you first make something or build something, you need to really give it a good safety check. That's better. And they're dropouts, it looks like, yeah. So, safety check done. Let's carry on. Oh, this one tightens up there. I don't want to sit on the seat now. It's getting that loose. I love those twisties. Now, corner, how much you're going to brake? How could you take it? Whoa, not much faster. Especially if there's a tractor on the corner or something. It's like Pigeon Street around here. Whoa. Backed off then for you, Blackbird. Whoa, did you see the grain on the road there? That is a biker's nightmare. That, you just go onto that, it's like ice. I'm actually really enjoying this. This is quite punchy. It's got a bit of more than a 50cc moped, that's for sure. This would drag one of them backwards. Feels that much more torquier. It's definitely fast enough for the frame. Thing is, you start getting up to 40-50 miles per hour on something like this and it starts becoming dangerous. They're not designed to go that fast. And the brakes, well, they're not going to last very long with that sort of power. They barely stand up to this sort of power, really. They're bedding in quite well now, though. Obviously they were new and they felt like they had no bite, but that's expected. Let's check the motor. See anything taking off the glove? It's quite warm. I felt my other one a lot hotter though. I'm sort of regretting going this way now. I'm gonna get my bike all dusty. Which route? Which line? Oh, that rough one then.
mud. And see what the other people have been doing. Before I forget, I am going to do a range test on this, but not today because, well, the priority today was just a safety check and give it a test ride and check everything's alright. Got a couple of snags on there. That one's nothing to do with me. That was just, I don't know how that happened. But what I've noticed is when I'm trying to change gear here, it's touching my... Oh, don't forget the bike's on. Touching my throttle, so I need to push it down a bit. I love it. This thing's great. I would consider these sugar grain on the road. Oh, that's close. Look, it's everywhere. Do you know what? When I was younger, I had a 125. I hit a patch of that on a junction, and the front end washed out on me. So I've learnt the hard way. Gutted. Oh my god, it's him dumping grain everywhere. Right then, my tummy is calling. I'm going to have to start making tracks back to my house. I'm going to wrap this episode up here then. Thanks for getting this far. Hope you enjoyed, and maybe we shall see you in the future. MOTO Machines out.